Hello there, everyone. The Andrada here, and welcome back to episode 9 of our Project Architect 2, almost said to the sky, Let's Play series, where today we are going digital with AE2. We are, man, I'm breaking everything in these episodes. We are, getting AE2 set up, going digital, auto crafting, storage, all that good stuff. So let's get started before I die. I asked the surgeon if I could administer my own anesthetic. They said, go ahead. Knock yourself out. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful day here in the world of the Andrada, where today we are chilling out in our MDF here. As you saw last episode, this is where I plan to put all of our applied Energistics 2 stuff. AFK'd for a little while, as you can see. We have 274 million EMC, and I have 21 hours worth of time in here. So AFK'd for a good bit. Just let my computer run overnight, essentially. And yeah, killed my electricity bill. But we have EMC. So we have 274 EMC, which again, still isn't really that much compared to some things that we've seen, but it's enough to get us going, and it gives us a nice significant buffer when it comes to EMC. Because I AFK'd, we have another Enderman that decided to come visit us. Where did I put my experience crystal? Yeah, it's over here, right? I have 21 levels. I'd like to get rid of those. We have not died yet, and I'd like to keep it that way. Anyway, so what we are going to work on doing today is getting into AE2. I have quite a bit of stuff prepped for this that is ready to go. And you can see I'm putting stuff away because we don't need it, because I have everything else ready for us and ready to rock, essentially. Oh, I didn't know trash cans had EMC. Might as well learn that. Bam. Bam? That was weird. It said I did not know it, but it didn't say learned. Or maybe I was seeing the I can't break it with the pickaxe thing because my hand is not strong enough. Anyway, so today what we'd like to do is get into AE2, get rid of this and start getting auto crafting and everything set up and going. We have another Enderman friend here who visited us. I'm going to leave him there until he decides to do something else, because why not? But anyway, I went ahead and expanded our setup here, and I added 2 more magmatic dynamos because we're able to easily handle that amount of lava. Then I went ahead and upgraded these guys too with resonant integral components and auxiliary reaction chambers for each. All very simple to make since we have the transmutation tablet and we can get all of the resources. The biggest problem is just it's time consuming. Once we get into AE2, it'll make things a lot easier. But if you look in here, I have extra Enderium. I made a stack of like each of the things, so Signalum, Enderium, and all of these are just simple induction smelting recipes, so there's really not anything too complicated with these at all. Lumium is glowstone mixed with tin and silver, like we all stuff that we have, nothing too complicated. It was just tedious to have to make manually, but that's why we're getting into applied energistics. So anyway, with all of this, we're currently able to make, each one of these makes, it has the capability of making 640 RF. So 64. So we have a total of 196. So 1900 RF just from this. So we'll say about 2000 RF per tick with this setup, which should be enough for AE2 to get us going and everything until we can start working on getting other stuff. So with that being said, let's head on over to our MDF, our main distribution frame, and see what we've got going on. So you can kind of see I've already run some cables and stuff and pre-planning and everything. The beautiful thing is a lot of stuff from Applied Energistics is transmutation table. It has EMC. So like all of our cables have EMC. So I went ahead and made one of each of these, or well, a set of them. Well, actually, they only make one. But anyway, so I made those and then was able to shove them into the system. And yeah, now we can pull out cables as needed. And it's very, very, very handy. So if we pop down into our little basement here, you can see I expanded a little bit because I would like to have our chandeliers come down. I'm probably going to have to actually raise them up because they're going to come down a little higher. I don't want to have to adjust my floor, but if I have to raise the roof, get it, raise the roof, I can raise the roof up a little bit and bring it over. We'll kind of see once we start building these things. But these are the chandeliers. They're going to end up being 9 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I had to expand our walls out a little bit so I could hold 2 of them. And then we have our inscribers chilling out over here. And then any other AE stuff. I may end up putting like our drawer system if we end up going that route, though we kind of sort of don't need to. A little bit. I mean, we're going to want ingots and stuff in the drawers because those don't go into our transmutation tablets, but like mob drops and stuff. We don't necessarily need a lot of drawers for a lot of things. But anyway, let's get into it. So what we're going to have going on, I don't know why I don't have sounds for some things. Like that should make a sound when I go up and down, and it doesn't. And our waystones aren't making sounds either, which is weird. And I did not disable those. Like I don't have waystone sound or teleport or whatever it is. Yeah, elevator is not muted, anything like that. It's just for some reason I don't get the sounds. Do I have sounds going on? Yeah, I mean, we have block breaking sounds, so sound is working. Ignore the dirt. That's my secret. That's under there. Anyway, so what we have going on, I made it myself another backpack so that I could hold all of the things that we need for Applied Energistics. I went ahead in between episodes and I pre-crafted a bunch of stuff for us to make this a little bit easier, a little bit faster, a little bit more prudent to get through this. I will take my round of applause now because it was a lot of work to get all this done, but it'll make for a more entertaining episode. Anyway, so we have over here, we have our controllers. We have some things that I don't remember. A crafting terminal. We have disk drives. I went ahead with the 4Ks because, you know, you have data types anyway. So going over 4K, I don't see a need for that. I have 8 of them. I couldn't remember if the ME drive can hold 8 or 10. So I went with 8. I think it can hold 10. If needed, we can expand. We have stuff over here for crafting CPUs. So we have the processors or the crafting units over here. We're going to have crafting storage. We'll go with 2 64Ks for now. We will expand this in the future. Crafting monitors. I would love to get at least 1 or 2 256Ks, but we want to get auto crafting set up because this already was a pain to get this going. Luckily, I was already doing these, so getting a couple extra for the 4 or the 16Ks was not the worst thing in the world, but man, it was tedious. We have some extended processors or extended pattern providers over here. Notice I only have enough to make 1 of these. I'm not, actually, I would love to make 2 of these. I didn't think about that, but that's fine. We'll get to it in the future. I want to get auto crafting set up so that we can get the assembly tree going. So I don't want to have to wait until the assembler tree is ready for us to get some basic auto crafting. I'd like to teach it how to do all of these things before we get to that point, if that makes sense. And then I have in my backpack, because I ran out of room, I have stuff for extended molecular assemblers. Yep, that's you. 2 of those. I have stuff to go with a wireless connector and wireless setup kit, so that way we can put AE in our base. So lots of things that we have going on, but it shouldn't be terribly too difficult for us to go ahead and start crafting these things up because, well, I did all the work ahead of time. So if we take a look at this, we have our ME controller, and we need a total of 7 of these to fill out this space. And that's a lie. I don't need 7. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 10. I needed 16 of these, the Andrado. What are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? Can't count, apparently. Luckily, I have all of the stuff available in the EMC except for my engineering processors. Let me go back and grab those because I put those in here. So if I take a look at this, I need 16 total of these, which means I need 8 more. So I need Skystone block. I need 32 Skystone block. Okay. I also need Fluix crystals, and I'll just grab a stack because I think we're going to actually need 2 stacks, I think. Well, we got 3. Okay. ME controller, let's grab you, and I can do 8 more. I need 1 more. Buddy, what am I short on? Skystone. There we go. Okay. Control E. There we go. And bam. Now we have all the controllers that we need. Thank you. Shove all that back into there. And there we go. Okay, cool. So with that being said, see, the Andrada plans for things, and you know what? You can't always plan for everything, so that's okay. I could have just done this too and see that it was 16 blocks that I'd end up mining up, which would solve my problem for me, but whatever. So if we go ahead and break these, we can go ahead and place our controllers in place. And this will not live evade our system because we have to give it some power. We got to jump start it, give it some juice. So let's go ahead and bam. Yes. Did it run out of... it turned on for a nanosecond and then it shut off. I'm going to assume one of those ended up with power because of my flux. But if I do this, do you... Yeah, okay. Whew. I was like, wait a minute. Did I do something wrong? But I don't want power to be visible. I don't want power to be there. So we're going to go ahead and take our power and we can run the power... power can go here, and this is going to be our AE2 system. Sure. And you can bypass limits. You're only currently going to use 96 RF per tick, but yeah. Okay. So we have applied Energistics. Yay. Everything's set up. We're working. We can go ahead and start storing stuff places. Not quite. In order to actually get stuff into our AE system and stuff, we have work to do. We need to get some cables run. We need to do some extra stuff. We need to get some disk drives going so we can get stuff in there. We need to get crafting terminals. We got a lot of work that we still have to do. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these things. And with these, I don't think I remember what I'm going to be able to make, but I'm going to be able to make something. So let's get you out of the way. And it's U4. You're going to make me a terminal. Okay, cool. And then with that terminal, I can go ahead and combine it here with these two and make myself a crafting terminal. I love that these are shapeless recipes. That's kind of handy. And with the crafting terminal, now I can craft things in AE. So all I have to do is get my ME drives going. I can pop this guy here, shove it full. Yeah, it's 10. And then I just got to get a cable connected to that. So if I come down here and I say, hey, I want to dig a hole here because I need to be able to access this. There. Oh, look, and we have cabling right there. I still haven't decided if I'm going to disable channels or not. I'm highly leaning towards it, but it's TBD at this moment. Most likely is going to happen though. But I'll wait until I at least get my assembly chandelier set up. That way I make sure that those are done correctly with the 32 channels and everything like that. Concrete again, please. And bada bing, bada boom. Okay, cool. Now our ME drive is online, so we can access all of our stuff. In order to do so, I'm going to grab myself one simple Fluix cable. That's you. I'm going to pop you down right here, and then I will take my crafting terminal and pop it here, and there we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Ignore the holes. We're going to deal with those in a moment. But now we have access to storing stuff in Applied Energistics. Yes, this is the whole goal of us being here. I want a large terminal or tall. I want to sort descending order. You can show everything and sort by number of items is generally how I like to do it. But yeah, look, now I can go ahead and shove things into our system. However, I don't want to just shove everything into there because these things that have EMC, I obviously don't want to go into here. What I need to get is the transmutation interface, this guy. This will allow me to connect. Wow, that's going to require an Architron. This allows me to hook my EMC up to my system. 1.26 billion EMC. Okay. You're going to require us to get into Powa. You're going to need an Archivo. Ludicrite. It sounds ludicrous. And we're going to need an Archivo, which is enchanting from Ars Nouveau with 10,000. Okay, so we're not getting into this anytime soon. It's going to sit up here on our to-do list for a very long time. So we're still going to have to manually grab stuff out with our transmutation tablet, but at least we don't have to craft everything from our drawers or our chests and all that. Anyway, what I'd like to do is go ahead and get ourselves set up with our wireless so I can actually move this, at least this portion, over to our base until I can get a wireless crafting terminal and then go that route, which honestly isn't going to be terribly too difficult. I just want to auto craft a lot of these things so I don't have to worry about it. Anyway, so if that's the case, if I want to go ahead and get the wireless going so that I can get this set up on our base so we can move all our items into there, I'm going to want to go ahead and do this. Now it's going to be this, 1, 2, 3, you, and you, which is going to make 3 wireless receivers. And then with those wireless receivers, we can go ahead and turn them into the... shut you all off. I meant to press Control E and I hit Control G, which is my recording key. Anyway, so we're going to need to do this, and then this, and then I believe this, and then this, which will get me a set of wireless connectors. We also need to make ourselves this guy, the setup controller, the setup kit. Yeah, so we can actually bind these together. So I can go ahead and do this, and bam. Okay, so now with our wireless connector, we can go ahead and actually connect this up, wirelessly. Now, where do we want to put this guy? I haven't decided where I want to put my wireless connectors. I'm thinking I might just expand them off of the sides here of our controllers. If I do that, that's going to be linked, and then I can go ahead and right-click on this, bring it over to our base, and then now in our base, we can have AE available to us. Where do I want to put this? I haven't 100% decided, but for now, I'm like, am I going to make it absolutely terribly looking? I mean, ideally, it would be like here, centralized in our base, and then I can expand to where I need to with cables underground, right? Like that makes sense. And then I can run cables all the way down to where I'd want them. Or do I just set up multiple, like if I set up a wireless thing over here to control this, and then wireless in each room? Maybe that's the play. We'll do wireless in each room. So if I go ahead and place this ME connector here, and then I right click, it's now bound over there, and you can see what it's connected to. And then I can go ahead and put this darn notice board, which I'm not going to actually. These notice boards are annoying when I have to, they look great. They're annoying when I have to actually do anything. For now though, what I'm going to do is grab a Fluix cable and bam, bam, bam. We're just going to have this chill here. I'm going to go grab my crafting terminal from over here. And then that way I can, I should have made 2 of these, but I also did make the wrench for this. I should have just used the wrench for that, but whatever. Wrong room. But with this, I can go ahead and now put this crafting terminal here. And now I can go ahead and access everything, descending order, tall, number of items. And now I can break all these chests and put all of this stuff into our system. So I can go ahead and break all of these barrels. My magnet will pick up everything for me. And I can just go ahead and, other than this, I'll put this over here. And I'm going to move that out of the way. That slot won't fill up because it's locked, but that's okay. Now I can just go ahead and do this and shove everything that I have into our system, and I don't have to worry about it. There we go. Okay, cool. And then I can go ahead and cook that again. Now, what I would like to do is see search in tooltips. EMC. Does anything in here have EMC? Yes. So then I can pull these 2 things out at least and shove them back into there. Saves me on 2 data types. But yeah, look, now I have access to all of my stuff from Applied Energistics right here, easy peasy, wherever I'm at. Now we're going to go ahead and bring this back because I don't need it. I just wanted it for that portion of things so that I could grab all of my stuff. I'll grab this iron too. And then we can go do all the work back over in the MDF and get auto crafting set up. Because now that we have digital storage, auto crafting is going to be a breeze. Let's go ahead and reset this by number of items. Bam. So the most that we have in here is iron ingots and then some silicone and stuff. Yeah, okay, cool. So, and we're only using 2 of our things. This one's full of its data types. This one's almost full. And that's the biggest thing. Like, we're only using half of the storage, but the data types is where it's at. There are disks, what are these called? Storage cells that don't have data types. I believe, yeah, these guys, the 4K, no, that's Flux. There is... something doesn't have data types, if I remember. Yeah, these guys. From Mega Cells, they can hold 1,200 I'm sorry, 102,400 bytes and no data type. So I don't have to worry about data types with these things. However, they are very expensive, like not anything that we are going to get set up with anytime soon. That being said, though, we can go ahead and work on getting our auto crafting set up. So if we pop back over here into our backpack, we're going to see that we have a couple things set up for us to be able to get auto crafting set up. Might as well clear out this inventory first. I don't need this cobblestone here, so we can put this there. And eventually we're going to want more acceleration cards. But we'll go overhead over here, and we're going to get this set up. This is going to be our extended molecular assemblers, and I have enough to make 2 of these, which are great. These guys can handle 4 crafts at a time, which is what makes them so handy. A normal molecular assembler can only do 1. These have the capability of 4, maybe even 8. I don't even remember. It's a lot, though, is what it is. On top of that, we're able to go ahead and grab these and get our extended pattern providers, or at least 1 extended pattern provider. And with this, we are able to do some crafting. However, we can't do any crafting as of yet because we don't have enough. We don't have any processing power. And you need processors, you need CPUs, you need a computer to be able to do all of the work. So let's get some basic computers set up here. So what I have over here is the stuff that we would need in order to make crafting units. Specifically, we should be able to make 18 crafting units. My goal is to get 2 CPUs set up right now. So with those crafting units, our first step is going to be to create crafting monitors. I want to do this in reverse order. That way I can make sure I don't burn through too much of my stuff. So we're going to need crafting units and then a storage monitor, which is going to be this guy here. So if I go ahead and put these 2 in here, that's going to make storage monitors. And then I need to turn them into a crafting monitor by putting a crafting unit in with these. And that's going to get us 2. Now, these aren't necessary, but they're cool to look at. So it tells you what your CPUs are currently crafting. So we'll keep those. So that's our crafting monitors. We are also going to need our crafting storage. This is our CPU power, essentially. So we're going to grab these and we're going to make ourselves 64K crafting storages. Oh, the Andrada messed up. Wait a minute. That's you. Right? What am I missing? Something's missing from here. I missed a calculation processor. I think I ran out is what the issue was, wasn't it? Oh, where am I going? Everything's... Now I got to get used to having a digital system. Do I have any calculation processors? No. But do I have... I have some silicone down in my molecular assemblers. I need to grab some Certus. I'm sorry, not my molecular... Excuse me? Break. Why did that do that? I don't understand. Oh, hello. Goodbye. Okay, so I have that ready to go. So I just need to get my logic or my calculation press, get that in there. I just need 1 for now, so we'll go ahead and we'll let that cook up the other 64. But for me and my purposes, this is what I need. So we need 2 64K storage components. And then from there, we should be able to make our crafting storage 2 of these. Okay, let's go ahead and pop back up. Now, what I would like to do, I need to get a transmutation tablet. No, not tablet. Table. If that's the case, I'll go ahead and put this here so that way I can, I can bounce between the 2 and shove things in that need to go into there. Okay, so that leaves me with 14 of my crafting units. And then with those guys, I'm going to go ahead and craft my crafting co-processing units. And each of these allows you to do a craft. If I remember correctly, I don't quite. So honestly, the whole CPU thing is not my forte of experience with this. But hey, we're going to make it work. Okay, cool. So with that, we should have enough to make 2 crafting CPUs. And as you can see, we can. So what I'm going to do is set these up over here. I'm going to have them be, this might be an issue, actually. They're a little, my drive is a little too close. I don't know if it's going to work if it's touching the drive. I guess we'll find out. So we're going to grab our crafting co-processing units, and we're going to go ahead and do this. Then we will grab our storage here, and then our monitor can go here. Does that? Oh, okay. It builds a valid structure. We'll take that. Okay, so we'll do this, and then everything else gets filled out behind it. Bam. And now we have a wall of crafting, and we should be able to do auto crafting. In order to do so, though, I've failed one step. Oh, no, I want that 256K back. Now, eventually, we will put these elsewhere. 256K crafting storage. We'll put these things somewhere else because, like, we don't have any room for any more. And so that's a bummer. I like these two sitting here, though. It kind of like fills out this room a little bit. So we'll keep those two here. And then the rest, we've got room downstairs. We'll add more crafting storages downstairs. And we can see currently we're using like 2 channels, maybe 3 channels. Anyway, what I would like to do now is get a pattern processor or pattern terminal. This guy. A pattern encoding terminal. What is a extended pattern access terminal? What do you do? Oh, you're the one who allows me to see all my patterns. Okay, yeah. I need the pattern encoding terminal. What are you? Pattern access terminal upgrade? Oh, you can replace the normal versions without breaking. Okay, cool. I'm getting distracted here. So I need to make myself another crafting terminal and an engineering processor. And I think, no, I want to get this set up now before we wrap up this episode so that way I can get everything auto crafting so we can build our trees next episode. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, pattern encoding table acquired, and patterns themselves have EMC, which is great. So I don't have to do anything with these. I'm going to shove a couple into our system. I did the same with glowstone, redstone, and all that stuff. And we can just top up as needed, but it's a pain to have to go back and forth when I need it. So some of these things we might just keep in, like nether quartz and certus quartz and stuff like that. Stuff that we're going to use often will allow to sit in our drawers. And then if we need to adjust or add another disk drive, it's really not that big of a deal. Anyway, so I have my pattern encoding terminal, which means that my transmutation table is going to have to get moved. So maybe we'll just put him there. And then we can go ahead and grab ourselves a Fluix cable. You know what mod I might add to the pack would be a dank, just so that I can add all this stuff in without having to play with cables and all that stuff. Anyway, and then so the pattern encoding terminal can go ahead and sit there. Now the pattern encoding terminal is going to be what allows us to teach the system how to make patterns. I need to go ahead and get our pattern provider set up here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put this, and for now, this guy is just going to sit here. He is very temporary, but he can hold a total of, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 4 is 36. 36 total patterns for us. And then the molecular assemblers can be accessed on both sides. So this guy's going to be able to use all 8 potential. This is essentially like me setting up 8 molecular assemblers on each side of this. And we are going to use these for our trees, which is going to make our crafting absolutely ridiculously overpowered. But we're going to do it. We're also going to fully accelerate each one of these too. Currently, power-wise, we're using 1.83 thousand RF per tick, which is a pretty decent amount. What's using all that power? I'm going to assume it's the wireless connector. Okay, so in order to have everything over to our base, that's using 1.67 thousand RF. So these things use quite a bit of power, but whatever. We're generating 7,000, and it's just off of free lava. So I'm sorry, we're generating 2,000, aren't we? Yeah, we're going to need to ramp power up because we're basically using all of our power just to have this guy set up over here. So maybe we, but we're going to need to eventually automate these machines. But maybe for now, we don't. Can I turn you off? Like, yeah, you're using 417. Why does it say it uses 1,000? Oh, 417 AE per tick. The conversion rate is slightly different for RF or FE, forge energy. Okay, now we should be much better. Yeah, we're draining 2.75. Okay, so we'll stick this in there. We're definitely going to use it, but I'm going to hold off on setting it up for now just because it's, expensive. Anyway, so what we want to do is grab our patterns, and I'm going to grab a stack of patterns and put them in here. And now with try to use fluids instead of items, substitutable ingredients are marked in green. That's interesting. I don't remember this button being there before. Now with patterns, we're going to be able to teach the system how to make a bunch of stuff. And so my main goal here would be to teach the system how to make molecular assemblers, the extended version, and acceleration cards for sure, and pattern providers, but the extended version. Come on. Why aren't you searching? What is going on? Oh, I hit my macro. That's what it was. Pattern providers. We're going to want to get the extended version of the pattern providers, and we're going to go buku crazy with the amount of recipes that we are able to make. So in order to use the pattern providers, you just hit R over this, and then you say, hey, this is the recipe that I want, so I go ahead and do this. Now, I don't want necessarily these patterns, so let's see if I can catch it there, and it won't. So let's go ahead and say ME pattern provider, and I want to use these ones. In order to make those other ones, it's an extra craft, and it's unnecessary, so we don't need that. In order to make these things, we're going to need capacity cards, and we're going to need regular pattern providers. So capacity cards is going to be this recipe, which requires basic cards, which is this recipe. We're also going to need the pattern providers themselves, which is this recipe, along with formation cores and annihilation cores. So we can go ahead and teach the system this. We are going to need to teach the system how to make all of the processors, but we will handle that next episode because that's going to be a slightly, not complicated process, but a slightly different process than what we're using so far. And I'd like to upgrade to extended inscribers at that point. Okay, so that's that. That takes care of our extended pattern providers. That's you, and that's you. Did I teach acceleration cards? Not yet, but now we have, except I need to teach an advanced card to this. We're going to need to shove all these resources into the system, and that's fine. And then we're going to want extended molecular assemblers, which is this recipe, along with molecular assemblers, which is this, and then everything else we should know how to do. So if I take all of these recipes and put them into here, and I come over here and I say, hey, I want pattern providers, and I want a lot of these. If I say I wanted 64, it's going to say, hey, the Andrada, you can almost do that, but you're missing calculation processors, engineering processors, gold, and crafting tables. Well, the crafting table portion's easy. We can teach the system how to make a crafting table. That's not a hard problem to solve at all. We can go ahead and do this, put these into here, and then I can come here and grab a bunch of logs, and I can just say, hey, there's your logs. Where is oak logs? There's logs for you to be able to do it. So now it should be able to make a bunch of crafting tables. So extended pattern provider, if I wanted 64 of these again, now I'm just missing the gold and the iron, which we can handle, we can smelt. The biggest issue is going to be these calculation processors and the engineering processors. So next episode, we're going to come back and we're going to automate those. In order to do so, we're going to want to go ahead and get some of these. Now, I don't need extended pattern providers for these. I need regular. And I'm going to want a total of 6 of these because we have mega cells in the system. And so because of that, look how fast that was, all 6 of those. Because we have mega cells at mega, there is the accumulation processor, which requires a special set up with sky steel and everything like that. So eventually we're going to, I guess I don't need it now. Eventually we're going to need 6, but 5 is what we're going to do. And we're going to turn these into the subparts version of them. I don't want you to do that. Okay. So with that, we'll go ahead and work on automating this next episode. But this is a very good start into applied energistics. Oh, geez, I got to be very careful. Let's not do that. Sure. Anyway, great start. We've got AE2 set up. We've got auto crafting available to us. We've got layouts for our assembly trees, and we have digital storage, and it's working great. So yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Next episode, we're going to come back. We're going to get our assembly tree set up so that we have our automation available to us forever for the rest of this pack, essentially. We won't have to worry about any more pattern providers or molecular assemblers. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, we probably don't need 2 since each one of these acts as 4. Each one of those pattern providers acts as 4 regular pattern providers. I honestly probably only need 1 tree. Doing 2 is going to be major overkill, but I like going go big or go home, they say. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.